Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our program, Future Focus. Today, we are discussing an interesting question. Can computer games offer real educational benefits for our children and students? Many young people, and even many adults, spend a lot of time playing computer games these days, so it's an important topic to explore. To help us understand different views, we have two expert guests. Please welcome Alex, a high school teacher who often uses games in his lessons and believes in their power. And joining him is Chloe, a child psychologist who has studied how games affect children's development and has some important considerations for us. Welcome to you both.
Thank you, Sarah. It's a pleasure to be here to talk about this. I strongly believe that computer games can be very useful for learning, much more than just simple entertainment. For too long, I think games have been seen only as a way to pass the time, but they can actually teach very important skills. For instance, many games make players think very hard to solve puzzles, or find creative solutions to problems they face in the game. This kind of problem solving is a great skill that is valuable in school and in life. Also, games that need quick actions and reactions can really help improve hand-eye coordination and how fast players respond to things. Beyond these general skills, there are now many games specifically designed to teach subjects like mathematics, history, or even new languages. These educational games make learning more interactive and engaging for students, often more so than traditional textbooks. Think about simulations too. Some games let you try complex activities in a completely safe environment. For example, a game about building and managing a city can teach young people about urban planning and how to manage resources effectively. Or a science game might let students conduct experiments that would be too dangerous or expensive to do in a real classroom. Of course, it's very important to choose the right games, and it's also crucial that children don't play too much. But with a good balance and thoughtful selection, I am convinced that games can be a fantastic tool for education.
Thank you, Sarah. And thank you, Alex, for your points. I understand where you are coming from. However, while I acknowledge that some small benefits might exist in very specific situations, I have some serious concerns about the widespread use of computer games, especially for children's education and overall development. My main point is that the negative sides of computer games often cause more problems than they solve. One of my biggest worries is about addiction and children spending too much time in front of screens. Many popular games are designed very cleverly to make you want to play for a long time, using rewards and challenges that are hard to resist. This can easily lead to children spending many hours each day playing games, which is not healthy. And if children are playing games too much, they might not spend enough time on other very important things. Things like their homework, playing outside to get fresh air and exercise, or simply talking with family and friends, which is vital for social development. Another significant issue is the inappropriate content found in some games. Many games include violence, or themes and language that are just not suitable for children. It can be very difficult for parents to control what their children are exposed to, even with parental controls, as children are often clever at finding ways around them. Finally, I worry that many games are more about passive entertainment rather than active, deep learning. It might feel like you are doing a lot, but often it's just reacting to what the game shows you, not true critical thinking, like when you read a challenging book or conduct a hands-on science experiment. So we really need to be careful and think critically about whether computer games are truly the best way to help our children learn and grow.
Thank you both for those opening statements. Alex, Chloe mentioned significant worries about addiction and children spending too much time playing. What do you think about this specific concern?
That is a very fair concern, Chloe, and I agree that it's something we must address. It is absolutely true that children should not be playing games all day long, neglecting other responsibilities or activities. But this isn't a problem unique to games. It's true for many things, like watching television for hours, or even spending too much time on social media. The key, as with these other activities, is for parents and educators to help children find a good, healthy balance in their lives. When we talk about using educational games, we are usually referring to using specific, targeted games for learning purposes, perhaps for a set amount of time each day or week, integrated into a lesson plan, for example. It's not about allowing endless, uncontrolled playing of any game. Moreover, many well-designed educational games actually encourage deep thinking, strategic planning, and creativity, rather than just mindless fast reactions. They might present complex problems that require careful thought over time, not just quick reflexes.
Chloe, Alex suggests that with proper guidance from parents and by choosing specific types of games, these problems of addiction and excessive screen time can be managed. Do you agree with that perspective?
Guidance is certainly important, Sarah, and I agree with Alex that parental involvement is crucial. However, I think we need to be realistic about how challenging this can be for many families. Many parents are very busy with work and other responsibilities, and it can be extremely difficult for them to constantly monitor what their children are playing and for exactly how long. Furthermore, as I mentioned, many of the most popular games on the market are designed by experts to be incredibly engaging, almost to the point of being addictive. This makes it very hard for children, whose brains are still developing self-control, to just stop playing. And while some games might be educational, I still believe that traditional learning methods, like reading physical books, engaging in practical activities, and direct interaction with teachers, often teach children more deeply and more holistically, without the associated risks that come with increased screen time and the nature of some game designs. These methods have a long history of success and don't carry the same concerns about digital eye strain, posture problems, or the potential for online dangers.
Chloe, in your opening, you mentioned that games might not always offer what you call deep learning. Alex, from your perspective as an educator, can games really teach complex skills? For example, skills like working effectively with others or critical thinking?
Yes, Sarah, I absolutely think they can. For example, there are many complex strategy games available that really teach players to plan carefully, to think several steps ahead, and to manage limited resources effectively. These are very important critical thinking skills applicable in many real-world situations. And regarding working with others, many popular online games actually require players to join teams and work together cooperatively to achieve a common goal or to complete a difficult mission. In these games, communication, sharing information, and coordinating actions are essential for success. This can be a powerful way to learn and practice teamwork and communication skills in a very engaging context. Also, think about games that are based on history or science. They can make these subjects much more interesting and immersive for students than a textbook might. This can spark curiosity and encourage students to learn more about these topics on their own, effectively promoting independent learning. Some games even allow for creativity, like building worlds or designing solutions, which are also valuable skills.
Alex highlights the potential for teamwork and communication practice in online games. Chloe, what are your views on the social aspect of gaming? Can it replace or genuinely supplement face-to-face interaction?
It's true that some children and teenagers do make friends online through games, and for some, especially those who might be shy or isolated in their physical communities, this can feel very important. However, there are also significant risks associated with online social interactions in games. Sometimes, there is bullying, aggressive language, or negative peer pressure within these gaming communities, which can be very harmful to a child's emotional well-being. And critically, it's not the same as face-to-face interaction. Children learn essential social skills best by playing and talking with others in person. When they are physically together, they can see facial expressions, hear the tone of voice more clearly, and learn about body language, all crucial parts of understanding social cues and developing empathy. These nuances are often lost or are very different in online interactions. For many of the skills Alex mentioned, like planning or even certain types of problem solving, there are often safer, more direct, and more socially rich ways to learn them, through real-world activities, projects, or structured educational programs that involve direct human connection. The depth of social learning from in-person group work or play is, in my opinion, far superior.
To summarize my position, I truly believe that computer games, when selected carefully and used responsibly, can be an incredibly valuable educational resource. Like any powerful tool, they must be used wisely and with clear purpose, not just as a time filler. Games have a unique ability to make learning more engaging, more interactive, and more enjoyable for many students, especially those who might struggle with traditional teaching methods. They can help develop a range of important skills that are essential for the modern world, such as complex problem solving, strategic thinking, digital literacy, and even, as we discussed, collaborative teamwork. The key, I believe, is in choosing appropriate, high-quality educational games. It's about ensuring there is a healthy balance with other activities, both academic and recreational. And often, especially for younger children, it's vital for adults, parents, and teachers to be involved in guiding the experience and discussing the learning that takes place. I am optimistic that we will continue to see even more innovative and exciting educational games developed in the future, and I think we should remain open to their potential to transform learning.
In conclusion, while I can agree with Alex that some games might offer small, isolated benefits if they are used very carefully and under strict supervision, I remain deeply concerned about the overall risks they pose, particularly to children. The problems associated with excessive gaming, such as the potential for addiction, the reduction in time spent on essential social activities and schoolwork, and the frequent exposure to unsuitable or even harmful content, are very real and well documented. In my professional opinion, proven educational methods, such as reading widely, engaging in hands-on learning experiences, and fostering personal interaction with dedicated teachers and peers, should always come first and form the foundation of a child's education. These methods have stood the test of time and are known to foster deep understanding, critical thinking, and healthy social-emotional development without the same level of risk. Therefore, I urge parents and educators to be very cautious. They should prioritize creating a balanced childhood that includes many different types of activities, not just screen-based ones. A childhood rich in outdoor play, creative pursuits, reading, and real-world social connections is fundamental, and we should be wary of anything that significantly displaces these vital experiences.
Thank you very much, Alex, and thank you, Chloe, for this very interesting and thought-provoking discussion today. You've both given us a lot to consider. We've heard strong and well-reasoned arguments on both sides of this important topic. Alex has passionately argued for the power of computer games as an educational tool when used correctly, highlighting their potential for engagement, skill development in areas like problem-solving, and making learning more interactive. On the other hand, Chloe has urged considerable caution, emphasizing the potential downsides, such as addiction, the displacement of other crucial childhood activities, and the importance of relying on traditional, proven learning methods. It seems clear from our discussion that if computer games are to be used for educational purposes, it must be with careful thought, clear boundaries, and a strong commitment to maintaining balance with other essential aspects of learning and life. Thank you once again to our guests, and thank you to our viewers for joining us on Future Focus. We hope this discussion helps you think more about this topic. Good day.